Well, thank you, Senator McConnell. Um, the leader is too close to sort of Central or Eastern Europe type thing. But this is truly an honor. I'm not going to go on long. You all have had a long day, and I tell my clerks often I'm tired of talking about me, so they should talk about me. And I think they have been talking about me. So, oh my goodness, it is so embarrassing. I just the but I have to thank you all. I thank you for being here this evening. I know you have other things to do. I thank Jen Mascott, whose idea this was, and who's simply delightful, and as well as the Gray Center. I'm sure there's a ton of hard work involved in this and details and convincing people to participate. But I also thank Heritage Foundation for hosting this and all the work that they've done to make this all possible. And of course, I'd like to thank Senator McConnell for not only the work he has done that Don spoke of, but just being the gentleman he is and the courage that he has shown over the years, and also for his friendship. The only difficulties we have is that Louisville's volleyball team walked into Lincoln and swept my Cornhuskers. The only salve on that wound is that your coach is from Nebraska. So seriously, I do thank you for all you've done. I also thank my friend Judge Silberman. Larry understates some of the things he's done. He did talk me into being a judge, and for that, we will settle later on about that. I was minding my business. But he's been a very, very good friend, and he was the one who gave me the best advice on being a judge. He said, Clarence, before every case, ask yourself, what is my role in this case as a judge? And that is the simple formula that I still use. I'd like to also thank Ambassador Gray. He, as well as Judge Silberman and some others, conspired to get me onto the bench and to orchestrate some of the things that subsequently happened in my life. But at the same time, they were also those who stood to protect me and defend me. And, it was Dr. King who said that you don't think so much about the people who are against you, but you do think more about the silence of your friends. Well, I get to see the other side of it. I get to see the courage of my friends. Those are the ones I like to focus on. And of course, Judge Silberman, Boyd and Gray, and so many others who are here have been like that. I'd like to thank Don McGann for all of his work and for this evening. You did appoint a lot of my kids. I always tell them, be careful what you ask for. Things happen. But they're good kids. And it's kind of interesting to see them on the bench and to see so many of them making sure that we continue to have a republic that was promised us. I'd also like to just point out that another one of my colleagues from the D.C. Circuit who's here that I admire greatly, and that is Jim Buckley. What an honorable man. I always think whenever I go in the basement of the D.C. Circuit, I look for that red convertible that he always drove. It was always there, was ubiquitous. See, that's a big word. I learned that from the Roget's thesaurus. But at any rate, there's so many people here, and I'm not going to go through everybody. I know so many people here, and once I get started, it'd be a roll call. There's so much I could say about all that so many of you have done. But I appreciate you all. I appreciate the panelists today and all the work and effort, time you put into this. I appreciate my former clerks. I love my kids. These are my kids. They spend a year of their lives with me, and they never get away. Um, we're part of each other's lives. The ups, the downs, the challenges, the difficulties, the joys. They're mine, and I love being a part of their lives, as does my wife, and Stephanie Coleman. And we just had a another one of our 1 or 2 or 3 year reunions in West Virginia with 300 people. Oh, what a blast. Then we have started taking our RV, the ones who don't show up, we visit their houses. And their parents. Oh, yeah. What a hoot that is. But we love those kids, and we love being a part of their lives. And my fellow judges, so many of whom are here, they are just a delight. So they're heroes of mine, and once I start calling names, I'm going to leave somebody else. I'm not going to call their names, but they know who they are. I just delight in knowing them and admire them so much and attempt to emulate them. And I thank them for participating today. I have to admit, I'm a little embarrassed about all of this. I am a 100% introvert, and this is very, very challenging for me. But at the same time, I am profoundly and eternally grateful, beyond all measure, for you all and the fact that you would be here to do what you're doing today, the fact that Leader McConnell would be here, the fact that Judge Silberman, Boyden Gray, my friends Kay and Charles James, who were among my prayer partners 30 years ago, and who are just wonderful and were very supportive in a very difficult time. I could not have endured through the years without Almighty God's graces, the love of my bride, Virginia, and of course, she is the rock of my life. And I could not have done this without the courage of so many, including countless people I did not know and still have never met. They were all angels in a very, very dark time. To the extent that there are suggestions that I deserve some credit for these years, I respectfully demur. 30 years makes one stop and look back and reflect more with gratitude than with a sense of accomplishment. Any credit belongs first to President Bush for appointing me and sticking by me when others would have cut and run, to Senator Jack Danforth, who stood tall when it was needed, when he was needed, and who was a friend and a counselor and a father when he needed to be. I appreciate the senators who voted for me, all 52 of them. Hey, that's, all you need is 50. I also appreciate those who worked tirelessly to get me confirmed, and I mean tirelessly, especially Mark Paoletta. Mark has never retired. He has never stopped. I have given up on, I don't even know what these dates are that I'm supposed to be celebrating. I have to ask Mark. He remembers them all. Mark is my archivist, and he is my brother. I'd like to thank, again, my law clerks, over 30 years plus of law clerks, including the D.C. Circuit. These are not employees. These kids are family. I love these young people. I love being, some of them now are a little older than, I can't call them kids anymore. But I love these kids. And so many courageous friends who stood up when the standing up was tough. So many who've helped me over the years, who've helped me stabilize after some beatings, and who were there to comfort, friends who gave us a place to heal when we couldn't go anyplace, particularly in the 90s, friends who were then themselves attacked, and yet they didn't run for cover and did not change. I'd like to thank also my great colleagues, particularly on that early court, especially my buddy Nino. And I'm not going to get into it too much because I'll get choked up, but Nino and I had not met before I got to the court. We met, and I think we found out that even though we were from very different backgrounds, we thought alike, and we trusted each other. And for more than a quarter of a century, we worked together without seeing each other all that much. He would ask me things. He was really funny. He would ask me to go hunting with him, and he thought it was odd that someone from rural Georgia would not go hunting. And I said, Nino, it's really odd that someone from urban New York and New Jersey will go hunting. I said, last I checked, I left nothing in the woods. So you expect me to risk rattlesnake bites, moccasin bites, ticks, fleas, etc., to kill some unassuming bird with a big gun? No. He invited me to go to the Kennedy Center with him because he said, Clarence, you like classical music? I said, oh, I sure do. He said, come to the Kennedy Center. I said, oh yeah, but I don't like people who like classical music. Oh gosh. It is different without him. He is the one person I truly miss at the court, but I've had wonderful, wonderful colleagues there. Without the people who've helped me over the years and been there, without you all who are here, without God's grace, without my wonderful bride who's always there, I would not be standing here, and I know that. Without my grandparents, without the nuns we went to New Jersey to celebrate this past weekend, I would not be here. There are so many of you who are the but-for causation of my being here. So I thank you. I thank all of you from the bottom of my heart, and I thank you all for this wonderful, wonderful evening. It is a joy, an absolute joy, to be able to stand here and celebrate this moment, not because of me, but because of you all and what we're trying to defend in this great country. Thank you very much. I want to thank you.